Hey Micah, remember that one time that you asked me to use your toenail as a Q-tip? It got me thinking.
He's here.
So I got the C200 about a month ago, and I've been able to use it a fair amount. I shot a documentary with it, I was able to shoot a wedding, and this last weekend I did a one-day shoot and edit on the C200. Now, I know you're familiar with my 1DX Mark II video. The 1DX is a fantastic camera. It wasn't what I needed it to be, so I decided to return it. If you have any interest or want to join all the rest of disliking that video, I'll leave a link in the corner. But with that said, in my venture of finding the perfect camera for what I do, I have decided to invest in the C200. And here's why. Canon has fantastic sensors when it comes to their cinema cameras. I debated a long time for getting the C100, however, it does not shoot 120 frames per second, so I decided to go with the C200. That crispy slow motion is just, oh, it is fantastic. As you well know, I do a lot of my shooting in the outdoors. So this fan made me pretty nervous because it's exposed air going straight into the camera. So I got myself a rain cover as well. But the problem with the rain cover is that the camera has to be set up a specific way. If you guys look at what I have, this handle is actually backwards from the traditional user. And I put it that way so that this LCD could be as far back on the camera as possible without intruding on any of the other camera functions. I'm still able to fold the LCD screen and walk with it, and you know, when I was going up a mountain this last month, I was able to do that and hold it to my chest, and it's fairly compact. And talking about the display, it's probably my biggest when it comes to this camera, because it's not the greatest. If there was just a way that they could make it so that it folds over the back here like the C100, that would just be so much better. You would have so much more real estate for other things on top of the camera. But that's okay, I'm able to work around it. Another thing I love about this camera is the inputs. I have two XLR inputs, and actually I was able to purchase, along with this camera, an NTG3. This is probably the best shotgun mic that you can get for the price, and so I am super stoked that I'm able to have it on this camera. And of course, the $60 dead cat that you throw over the top to make sure that you can get the best audio nice and crispy right into the camera. Having two channels of audio is also super nice. When I was in the field this past weekend, we had a lot of duck calling and goose calling, which is crazy loud, as well as gunshots. We had a lot of people talking as well. And so I wanted to be able to get all of that without adjusting the audio levels. So all I did was both channels were set to this microphone, however, one channel was turned down. It was perfect. I was able to essentially always have a safe track of audio. Battery life is pretty good. I have two small batteries and then one large battery. This is the small one. This one lasts about 2, maybe 3 hours. And then my big battery, if I am able to turn the camera on and off, then it could last up to like 8. Otherwise, it lasts like a straight 4. We're gonna do this for you right here and show you how long this thing takes to turn on. Ready? And start your timer. Hey, the camera's finally on. Needless to say, it was a little bit, I don't want to say frustrating, but it was just a little bit painstaking to always have the camera on, because if it's not, I'm probably gonna miss the shot. Beyond the positives that I've already mentioned, the handle is awesome. It's super comfy. The focus assist is great. The focus guide, that's all awesome. All the function buttons are able to be customized. The digital ND filter, so you can just go up and down instead of having the scroll wheel like on the C100, that's awesome. One thing I don't really understand is that you can make initialize media one of these function buttons. Why would anybody want to do that? If you have any answers, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. But I don't know why I would want to be able to erase my media at one hit of the button. I haven't used the eyepiece much, but it actually is pretty accurate and pretty good. The peaking and the peaking assist is pretty awesome. You can switch it from red to blue to white to yellow. You can have all those different colors for peaking, so you can change it based on where you are. Like when I'm outside, I don't really want to have yellow because a lot of stuff is yellow and green. The dual SD slots is pretty freaking awesome. However, make sure that you have some high quality SD cards when you use them, because I know my slow motion is only able to be recorded on the SD card that's in slot A and not in slot B. I found it kind of interesting that the CFast card was only able to be used when you're shooting in 4K. That's not really a gripe, it's just something I thought that was interesting. But like I said before, above all is this sensor. It is so crispy. The film that I made this last weekend, the second camera guy that I had a 1DX Mark II and a C100, and the footage matched fantastic with it. So I'm super happy with that. The ISO is really good. I was at about 8,000 ISO this weekend and you were starting to see some grain. When I went to 10,000 is really when you could see it. However, I use Neat Video and I'm able to almost completely clean that up. So you could really spike up the ISO on this and make it look really good. I am still trying to figure out a way to make it so that I can shoot and directly go to an edit without having to do color correction, and just finish the edit out and kick it out and go. I am definitely a run and gun filmmaker. I do a lot of one-day edits. I get it. It's a cinema camera. It's not really meant for run and gun. I know wide DR is close, but I haven't found a picture profile or a way to make it so that what I shoot in camera is what I can deliver. I always have to do some kind of tweaking. But if you know of one or a trick to get around that, or something that you are happy with delivering straight out of camera, please let me know in the comments below, because I want to try it and I want to use it. This is about the only thing that causes me to pick up my 5D over my C200. So if I can get past that, this is going to be my go-to camera no matter what I'm shooting. That's all I got. One fair warning is that with the 16-35, it's actually really hard to manual focus. Part of that is because the 16-35 has such a quick distance to infinity, and the other part of it is that since I was shooting in a flat profile, it was just harder to tell. You couldn't see with the contrast of the image. These are just my first impressions on this camera. Let me know what you think. I am going to be using this quite a bit, and no, I won't be returning it. I'm super impressed with this so far. But anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Leave them in the comments below. Check out that 1DX video, and we'll talk to you later on the tubes.